Welcome to another video. Just a few quick pieces to show you which I collected while I was cleaning up the kitchen. And this is an old cream bottle. It's local to my state, Tasmania, and it has what they call a pyro label. So I guess, if the hint is in the name, his text is sort of fired on. Ultimately, it is pretty tough. Like you see, sometimes they're a bit faded, sometimes they're slightly scrubbed off, but it's pretty tough to remove this. But they are decades old now, these old pyro label bottles, and collectors want that writing to be in the best condition possible. This is a really good example. I had a couple of these. Okay, I bought I think 6 or 8 of them years ago, and I must have taken 2 years to sell a pair and got peanuts for them. And then I just saw on eBay someone sold one for really big money. Not really big, but $45 and $20 postage, so a little frustrating when that happens. This is a Crown Crystal fruit bowl. I shouldn't say fruit bowl, but needs a bit of a clean. And it's the same pattern you see in those jugs that they make. I think it's the same pattern. And there's a grape one. This looks like maybe a blackberry or something like that. We call this depression glass. I think it was made later than the 30s, but I think the 30s is when they started to make those pieces. Another bowl. I was keeping an eye out for these because I sell them. They're actually pretty hard to find, and it's from a Sunbeam Mixmaster. I know because I have the Mixmaster that takes this bowl. You have a bigger bowl when you have 2 beaters, and this will work when you only have one of the beaters on the Mixmaster. You have this rim which sits on the sort of turntable underneath the mixer there, and pretty heavy duty glass. And my machine is probably I'd say at least 40 years old, maybe more. So they're pretty vintage, and I'll sell that without a problem at all. Here's an interesting one. Just looks like an ordinary glass, but this actually was a honey jar. It came with honey and a press fit lid. Forget the brand, and I think they're from the 90s. They may have made them a bit later, I can't remember. But just a bit of a blast from the past. The hint is in the little hexagons there. Symbolic of a beehive, I suppose. Now, here's another glass. I picked this up for myself. I'd seen this kind of glass around. I never knew what they were really for. It's quite a huge one. And I saw on video someone was making cocktails on YouTube, and for one of their particular recipes they used a glass just like this. It was a fairly big sort of sweet cocktail. I think it had a lot of juice in it. I think a pina colada or something like that might go in this as well. Apparently the pina colada's the most sugar rich cocktail out there. I mean, at least it's the common ones. It's something much smaller. This is an old custard glass. It's quite nice cutting, stars and sort of thumb cuts there. And I was just looking at it earlier. It doesn't really have any contours, not even a gadget, so it's probably not that old. Quite clear glass. There's not a lot of grey tint to it or anything. Don't know what I'll do with it. As a single glass, actually see there's a bit of a crack around here, a little bit of a chip here, so unfortunately that might have to be thrown away. Now this is my favourite piece. I actually did pick up deliberately for myself. I just like the design completely. I have no real need for it, and I realise it reminds me of like a New Zealand tiki type, like a Maori design. Of course it's not, it's all like pinwheels and stuff, but that is what it looks like. And just a little trinket dish. It's all moulded. I think there's a bit of wear to it on certain high points, but no idea how old it is. Wouldn't be surprised if it is sort of that depression era, but anyway. Could use it for a trinket dish to collect screws or something when you're working on something. Could use it for an ashtray. Just realised it's almost slightly like Slightly lopsided. Strange. That's it, folks.